Okay. All right. So since uh, we are on the time limit, we'll go ahead and just kind of get started as people come into chat. So I always kind of start these things off with letting the guests take a moment because nobody can introduce themselves better than the guests themselves. So I'll just go ahead and uh, let you, for a moment, introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi, my name's Zachariah Kopis. I go by Guru. I'm an ex-collegiate player from Maryville, and I dropped out to pursue streaming. Um, I'm actually joining a little open division team right now. So I have a lot of scrim experience, a lot of experience in the competitive scene. Been playing Overwatch for 5 years. Yeah, kind of addicted at this point. Trying to quit, but can't.
Okay. Um, so going back to the very beginning, like what got you started into video games, just in general, in
Mm.
the first place?
Yeah, dude. I've been playing video games like since I came out the womb on the little Game Boy. It was the very first Game Boy. It was this huge brick, and I played this game called Godzilla on it, and it was just like some side scroller, like really, you know, simple game. But I nonstop grinded that game, and it's just I haven't stopped since because I've always been good at it. Like always been better than the people around me. So
Okay, awesome. I always have to ask people this because, like, it's interesting that a lot of people, I think, in fact, actually, the past two or three guests have mentioned that the Game Boy was like their first system that they
yeah.
kind of had. Did you ever have that moment where, like, you're sitting in the car at night, like in the back seat, your parents are driving, and like you're trying to like look because the original Game Boys and stuff didn't really have that great of a light,
Yeah,
and
I
it's
actually
like
had yeah, I had one of the lights that attaches to it.
oh, the
So
snake light type thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
kind of bougie.
Um,
Yeah.
So, getting into that, at what point? So you say that you kind of had always an inclination to be better than the people around you at video games. But at what point did you kind of think I could go competitive with this, or I could get into a competitive scene?
Yeah, so it was after the first time I dropped out of high school. I went to this public or this private school that helped kids that were in need or whatever.
Hmm.
And there's this guy there, and he's like, "Dude, you're Diamond 1 in League of Legends. You're almost Challenger. That's like kind of a big deal. You should try to make something of this." And I'd never thought of it before. And I mean, ever since then, I'm like, okay, well, let's try to make a living out of it.
Have you always been more inclined to play competitive games over anything else?
Yeah, like it's hard for me these days to play anything that's single player because well, I won't really be able to make a living out of it. I mean, I guess I could by streaming, but there's something about just seeing, you know, the enemy players and just putting them in the dirt that's the real juice for me.
Okay. With that being said, was League of Legends your first major competitive game that you put a lot of hours into?
Nah, I mean, I played Halo and I was like kind of playing custom games with those guys, but I had really bad internet. I had really bad internet up until I moved to Maryville, honestly.
Okay.
So that was like after Sky Foxes. Uh, yeah, I either had packet loss or really high ping, and like I mean, I essentially had dial up back in the day when I was playing League.
So the
But
the
yeah,
150 ping average struggle.
dude, 150 ping, and then we get like packet loss. It was so off. I lived in Montana.
Okay.
Like, who do you know from Montana besides me? Literally, like nobody, right?
What with competitive games in that sort of ilk in the genre, I noticed that a lot of times when people are inclined to play that type of competitive scene, that type of drive, that they have a background of being competitive. Were you always a competitive person?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of yeah. I had an older brother that I always competed with,
Okay.
but he always had a slight advantage because he was like six 6 years older than me, so he's a little bit, yeah, just like better. But I always like wanted to compete with him, and yeah, pretty much ever since then. Like I played sports growing up as well. I was never like until I was like 18. I played rugby, and I was pretty fucking good. Um, you don't care if I swear, right?
No, no, no.
All right. But yeah, pretty competitive person, I'd say.
What now? Something I've noticed, and I really do appreciate this. I've noticed that you've put several posts on Twitter about, improving not just physical well-being, but mental well-being and stuff too. One of the things that kind of seems to happen though, I have a lot of friends. We have friends in common, such as like Primo and stuff, and I've noticed that it can really take a toll if you're trying to push for that competitive scene. It can kind of really take a toll on the mental health drive
Hmm.
because everything from teams falling apart to just grinding the same game in and out 12 hours a day. How have you kind of over the years learned to kind of just zone in and just kind of like keep that drive going? Because you said you're addicted, which I think it's, not necessarily addiction is awesome per se, but I think it's awesome that you still have the same drive. Like if we go, scale it back 5 years ago, right? You have the same drive, it seems, to this day.
Yeah. I mean, that just comes down to being built different, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I work on myself a lot, so working on like my mental fortitude by like, pushing myself in the gym. Like when you go to the gym, you're not only working your body, you're working your mind because you're
Right.
pushing past hurdles, and it it's essentially balance, right? And also, like I've been pretty blessed as far as like other people taking care of me through like the stream or through Maryville. Like it allows me to keep doing, keep pushing that competitive scene. Um, but I think having balance in your life is really important. And you can only get mad at the stuff that is in your control. But teams falling apart, someone quitting randomly, like getting kicked off the team, getting benched. That's not. I mean, partially it's some of it may be in your control, but realistically, is it worth getting totally upset at and giving up and being like boo hoo? Like no, man, you just keep going. Like there's no point. I'm not gonna let something else like affect me like that.
Okay, so would you say it's fair to say in the summation of that part of your drive is kind of always going to the next thing? Like you're just
Yeah, I
kind
mean,
of like,
always looking forward.
okay, awesome. So I know that at the beginning of this, and for those of you who don't know, Guru actually put out a YouTube video about this, about switching from collegiate sports to, or collegiate esports, sorry, to going full time as a streamer. So was that something that was kind of always on the table, or is that more of a recent development where you thought about
Um,
switching?
I would say within the last year or so, it become like a feasible option for me. Yeah, but I guess I could talk about it. I was the, when you're on a collegiate esports team, there's a lot of politics because you're with those same guys no matter what. In a
Mhm.
tier two team, if someone's like fucking off and they're like not doing what they're supposed to, you just replace them, right? You can't
Right,
really do that
because the
in collegiate
colleges.
esports. Yeah, because you sign them for a year. It's like okay, we got to work with each other. We got to do what we got to do. Um, but like I got benched and I felt like it was unjust a few times, like multiple times, like throughout the time I've been at Maryville. It felt unjust. But this most recent time, it was just like kind of mind blowing to me. And I mean, they ended up winning, so that's awesome. I'm very happy about that. Maryville ended up winning the collegiate championship. But to me, like it doesn't matter about winning. It matters about me winning. Like
Right.
awesome, the team won, but I didn't really do much other than help them get there. Uh, and so that's what I'm looking for. Like I'm looking to put other people in the dirt in a game. That's why I'm like playing open division. Like me, it's such objectively, it's such a waste of time for me to join an open division team, scrim throughout the week, play in open division, maybe win, maybe move on to contenders trials, maybe go to contenders. Still, like it's not like a lucrative thing, and there's way better things to do with my time. But here I am, fucking doing it again because I want to compete. And yes, I mean
Well,
that's it, dude.
I know that Primo always spoke highly of you, and I don't remember if you all had met through Sky Foxes or what it was, but I know
Yeah,
he'd
I've known
always talked.
Primo for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, I know he always talked highly about your competitive spirit and just you as a teammate. That you were really really good, um, and dedicated. I think that is because let's be honest. There's people that are, whether it's this game or football or whatever sport. There's people that are good that have a very poor mental and work ethic. They're naturally good, but so I always thought that was awesome that he talked about your work ethic, especially. So, but yeah, I completely understand. I think that would almost, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think that would almost make me feel slightly used. That I'm always helping these people scrim and come up with strats and working with the team and being here, and then at the end I kind of get benched. I don't know.
Huh.
That would.
I mean, yeah, you could view it that way, but yeah, at the end of the day, I did what I had to. You know, at the end of the day, what happened happened. Like I'm not gonna have negative feelings towards
No.
an experience. Um, and at that point, like if I'm gonna think about it like that, I may as well not even think about it. It's
Yeah.
like wasted energy.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and no, and I think that that's a good viewpoint to have. And plus, I mean, you have a story now that most people don't have. To got to
mhm.
play collegiate esports, and that was,
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome. With
yeah.
content creation, what got you started in that, though?
uh, yeah, I think it was XQC. Just like
Okay.
watching how he did it, and like when I first started streaming, I almost felt like a clone of XQC in a way. But I had my own spin to it. So like when I first started streaming, I was like so PMA, like probably one of the nicest people uh, on ladder, and I didn't swear, but I also had like similar moments of XQC where I would just like be super amped. I don't really know what happened, but you know, I developed over the years. I think I was trying to be like super brand friendly,
Mhm.
but yeah, definitely developed over the years.
Okay. Um, and with, again, just kind of going back to the beginning a little bit, what got you into like even Overwatch in the first place?
Oh, dude, I knew that I was gonna make something happen with Overwatch. Like when it was announced, I wanted to get in the beta so bad, but so at the time I was playing Heroes of the Storm, and I'm like,
Okay.
I had recently hit rank one in that game, but that game there's no future in it. You know, I went from League of Legends, and I originally quit League of Legends because I got a carpal tunnel. That game
Mm.
is just like it's way too much for someone's hand, and I wasn't stretching at the time, and so I went from League of Legends. I was really high ranked in that, and then I switched to Heroes of the Storm, really high ranked in that. But I really wanted to play Overwatch because it looked awesome. Like right when it released, it looked so dope. And yeah, I just like nonstop grinded that game. Like like I actually messaged TSM before anything. Like I messaged them and said I'm going to make something happen from this game in my career, and it would be a good choice to pick me up. Obviously they didn't, but
No,
yeah,
but you know what? I love the initiative. Like,
yeah,
so far, the impression that I'm getting, like, I really like the fact that you take, the old saying goes, take the bull by the horns,
yeah,
and really kind of go for it. Because one of the things with this is trying to get people interested into content creation and get people, you know, understanding where different, perspectives come from different content creators. And I think that that's, drive of go, 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 go is really awesome to have. Um, and as a content creator, like what when you first started doing this, when you hit that go live button for the first time, did you have any particular goals in mind, or was it more about just seeing where it went?
yeah. Well, huh. I think I heard someone get into streaming to make money, and like I hadn't thought of that at the time. And dude, at the time I was working like a dead end job. Like, dude, back then I was grinding so hard. I was like, I actually quit my job so I could start scrimming at the time, and then I would wake up at 7 a.m., go to work, get back home, scrim from 4 to like 9, and then I'd stream after that. So and at some point I'd try to find time for the gym. That's dude. it was just nonstop, and so ridiculous. Anyways, yeah, I was just trying to get out of like my routine, I guess, and also just meet cool people, and then show off my gaming skills because people have always loved watching me play.
Hmm.
Like even in real life, people like, they just I don't know, they just want to watch me play video games because I'm a bit better than most people. I have a story. I went to a Super Bowl party like back in 2018 or 2017 or something with some old friends that I knew back in, kindergarten all the way up to like high school. And I go to this Super Bowl party, and instead of watching Super Bowl at all, or watching any football, they had me play Overwatch, and we all just sat in their room, and I just played Overwatch the whole time, and then I went home. Like,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah,
Oh, that's make well. Trying to think of what 2018 what Super Bowl. You might not have even missed anything.
who knows?
um, so with collegiate esports, was that getting into that originally? Was that something where it was a because some people feel that it's a supplement for if you were to get into, you said rugby or football or something. It was, did you ever feel it was that, or did you feel like, no, 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 I can, like, collegiate esports is going to, or esports in general is going to blow up, like, and I want to be in on it.
Um, I I didn't want to go to collegiate at all. I
Okay.
didn't want to. So it was either take the risk of grinding tier two, play on Sky Foxes. I just went 0-5 in contenders. We got knocked out.
Okay.
Is it worth it for me to keep grinding tier two? Keep grinding this dead end job. Keep that nonstop like 24-hour grind that I had going. Or should I go to collegiate, get a full ride, get everything taken care of, be able to work on my brand, save money, and like I'd be able to make my parents proud, which like realistically shouldn't matter, but it does have an effect on your choices. Sure, it's like which one you ask anyone which one are they gonna take. It's like I took the safer route. So like looking back on it, I sort of regret it because I young me was very down to keep grinding that tier two scene and see what could have seen what would have happened. But either way, I'm happy with my decision. But yeah, you know, there's always that what if, but it's never good to think about it, I guess.
Yeah, well, it goes back to what you said at the beginning. I mean, you're here, and your life decisions have led you to this point, and looking back on it, you can focus that energy or focus energy forward, right?
True,
Um,
very true.
so with that decision to leave, okay, I kind of want to just that first impression of, was it something that didn't really seem like that big of a deal, or was it more of an oh shit moment where you were like, okay, I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to leave Maryville. I'm going to do full-time content creation.
I was ready to pull the plug for a while, so
Okay.
like, yeah, I was maybe even at the beginning of the year, I was thinking about doing it at the beginning of the last year at Maryville. I was thinking about doing it. Actually, oh man, I thought about doing it after year one, dude. Yeah, I was just ready to do it, and I was just had to wait for the catalyst, I guess, to do it.
Okay. Uh, with content creators starting out, I think risk, right, is something that a lot of people are afraid of, right? A lot of people are afraid of, I cut back my hours at work, or in some cases for people that get really going, do I, you know, cut back on my classes? Do I cut back on how, you know, not giving people necessarily advice one on one, but for you personally, what was it that when these things all started kind of, falling together, the pieces started falling together, where was it that you knew that you could do this?
Well, that first thing you mentioned, I think people are trained to do the safe route, right?
Right.
Like if you're in a tough decision, like a risky decision, most people will tell you just like go with the safe option every single time, and that's just like how society is trained. But like, if you don't go with the risky decision and you wanted to do it, you're gonna regret it. Like if you're laying on your deathbed thinking about it, then you
Right.
always have that what if. So like, if you're gonna do it, just fucking do it and commit. And if it fails, it fails, and then you can go through the safe route and rebuild whatever. What did you ask me? What was it? Yeah,
No,
dude, I have bad ADHD.
no, 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 no. You're fine. You're fine. No, I. At what point did you personally like? Did it finally click? You were like, "Oh, okay, I can do this." Because so you took the safe route. So eventually, or not eventually, but inherently, you kind of knew. I'm assuming. Again, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but that let me do this stuff in this kind of progression, and then we'll see where it kind of goes. But what point did you think, I can actually do this and like,
Oh yeah, so like it was once my stream started like really popping off. So like I was a 20 viewer to 40 viewer Andy for so long, and now it's I think I average like 200 or so. But like it was actually during the break of this winter where I started pulling like randomly like 300 viewers, and it's like okay, that's quite a change. My sub count jumps up to 1,000. I'm like, dude, like this is a shot. If you don't capitalize on this now, like it's time to. Hey, that would be the same thing as like not taking the risk, you know, and going with school. I fucking hate school, dude. I hate that shit. Like, I took every shortcut imaginable throughout college, like every single time, just so I can keep grinding my stream, or I could do whatever I wanted to do. I don't want to go to school. That shit's. I won't get into it.
no, I mean you're more than welcome
Uh,
to get into
dude,
it because I think I'll tell you this to make you feel more comfortable about. I worked for a college for 4 years, and the politics, the just absolute. I always like to tell this story. We had a professor who graduated, PhD, who graduated in like 1979, and to this day, now he might have passed away. I don't. I haven't been to that school in a very long time, but to the day that I left, he still had students using citations back in his format when he graduated because he was too lazy to keep up with modern day citations. So this left
that's
out
trash.
you couldn't cite like a TV show, a website, because none of that stuff was around for citation when he was in college.
Yeah, dude.
And this was a tenured full-time PhD professor, and he probably making $150,000 a year minimum. And so I am a big proponent of learning. And I think that, when somebody has an interest in something like whether it be video games or biology or chemistry or math, et cetera, if they have a genuine interest, and educators, their job primarily should be to influence people to find what interests them and take, that and run with it. Um, then education's wonderful. But no, I've been in the collegiate atmosphere. I've seen the politics. I have seen professors, how callous they can be with their students' education. So no, I definitely get it.
Yeah, there's just like so many times where I had to go through like the busy work. Like for me,
Yeah.
with the ADHD brain and like having way better things to do, like I could not do the busy work. So like I would like skip all the homework and then just like do really well in the exam, and I would like calculate it. So I was like almost trying to get a low grade by skipping all the homework and just focusing on the exam. Dude, I don't know. It's just such a scuff system. I feel
No,
like everybody doing the same amount of busy work, the same exact thing. Like I don't know, having to do like a project that I actually care about or something, and like make up my grade.
No, which is why, again, I'm a huge proponent of people having, backup plans. I think going to school to, you know, if anything, to maybe even broaden your interest per se. But, when people say I want to do content creation, I don't ever want to look down on that, me personally, because I know a bunch of people that have done it, and why not? Why, if you're 20 years old, why not take the risk? You know, if you have no obligations, like you don't have, a mortgage and three
Yeah,
kids,
100%.
and
Like if you're not, above 30, I would say, take the fucking risk.
so yeah.
You never know.
And with that being said, there's people that, what is Dr. Disrespect is like 38,
Oh
39.
yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, for sure.
um, but yeah, I really do appreciate that. Okay, one last question because I do want to get into because we do have people showing up for chat, so I do want to let them have a chance for the Q&A. But I do have one last question for people, that are future, I don't want to say wannabe, but future interest in content creation. What is something that you would like to tell them? I don't want to say like the single best advice because there's, all advice can be potentially great
Yeah.
advice.
So like if you're just streaming on Twitch and you're streaming like you're doing like a 24-hour stream, but there's like three people in your chat like ever, it's not worth it, man. So the best thing you can do, make a YouTube video that like pops off and direct it to your stream, or like make a TikTok that does really well. Like Twitch is where you're supposed to, farm those clips, like, and then you make a video out of it, and then you don't attract people on Twitch. I did it the stupid way. I built my Twitch up, and then I started trying to build my other stuff. You build your YouTube, build your TikTok, post on Instagram, do Twitter. If you're not doing all of that, you can't say that you're really trying your hardest to like make this work. Like, dude, some people they'll be streaming like they'll do a 24-hour stream and they'll get like you know less than 100 unique views. Like that is such a waste of time. Like you have to bring people in. I was so lucky. Like Jane, instantly he started promoting my stream like after a month, just because he knew like how good I was and like where I could go. But most people, Six, the hog player, he built up his YouTube like so much, and then he started streaming, and now he's like one of the top streamers.
I think, well, famous example for those of you who are familiar with the Overwatch community, who have seen like past podcasts and stuff. Um, Forgiving talks about he attributes his growth to that specifically because he has a unranked to GM Reaper
Oh yeah, those
ser-
are really good.
series that he did, where I think he was 100% win rate. And he did that, and to this day, I think it's his most viewed. And I don't remember how many it got. It was a ridiculous number of views, and his stream started popping off
Yeah,
from that.
almost a million, dude. Almost
Yeah.
a million views on that. That is insane. What?
So,
From a year ago.
definitely, I completely agree with Guru. I'm bad about it myself, but you definitely want to take like every avenue you can to give yourself the most, as many chances as possible. Like, why, if you have this many options, why limit yourself? It doesn't make any sense, right? Um, so I know I completely agree with that, and I think a lot of people share those sentiments that you just expressed with social media and trying to reach out and yeah, and I think that that is super important.
Yeah, and also like I don't want to call it leeching, but like helping, you know, being a good content creator for other streamers is good too. Like doing cameos and stuff is insane because that's like instant instant direction. What's the word? an instant feed into your personality, into your brand. If someone in like say Super's chat recognizes you and they're like, "Oh, that's Guru," and then all of a sudden all these people know that it's me, and then that's like instant clicks on my stream.
Yeah,
It's just just an example,
I don't
and
think.
make
I was
yeah.
just
Go
going to
ahead.
say real quick. I don't think that's leeching at all. That's networking, and this is a
Yeah,
business
I
of
mean,
networking. So I mean, I think that if you get along with another streamer and they have slightly more viewers than you do, or whatever, but you enjoy playing with them, and you actually build a connection, if you will. Like I don't think that's any way, shape, or form leeching. Um, Doofy.
fucking doopy, dude.
Um, but well, everybody, they're actually getting a lot of people in, so this would be a good time. This last 10, 15 minutes to kind of transition over. So welcome everybody. I always apologize. I didn't really have time to get into this at the very beginning, but anybody that follows anything like that, I sincerely appreciate it. But I always try to leave alerts off so that I can give the guests my undivided attention, because these particular podcasts aren't about me; they're about the guest. So I definitely want to let everybody know that I see the messages. I appreciate it. Appreciate you all being here. But like I said, I always want to dedicate my attention to the person who was willing to come on and show them the kindness back that they showed, coming on
Nah,
to the
fuck
interview.
that. It's all about Chad anyway.
um, to go to bed, you have a. All right. Thanks for stopping by, Ski. Appreciate it, buddy. So all right, everybody. So we're gonna transition over to a little bit of the Q&A. So anybody that would have any questions for Guru, you are more than welcome to ask. We always try to keep it TOS friendly. Uh, but anybody that would have any questions? And that's awesome, Death. I'm glad you cut your runtime by 2 minutes, buddy.
Yeah, most of these guys, they I think if they ever have questions, they just pop into my chat,
That's okay.
which is
Host me.
yeah.
um, okay. I'll have a question to start with. Well,
Yeah, I
so
think we should just like keep going, and if you see anything, then
okay,
yeah.
cool. What got you into physical fitness, like weightlifting and stuff?
Dude, like it's almost like it's just another way of like making myself better at video games is by being physically fit and mentally, sound. Like that was one of the main reasons. Also, like being attractive to other people, like being attractive, feeling confident. It's nice, definitely nice.
Well, in longevity. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, I don't. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't necessarily consider that, but
well, no, no, no.
yeah.
I meant in terms of streaming. Like, I mean, when you're
Mm,
sitting in a chair and you're putting pressure on your back and your core and all this other stuff. I mean, to have a stronger core, more, if doing stretches and stuff like that, I think that would be good for you in every way, shape, or form.
yeah, it's so good, and just like moving around as a streamer or as a gamer. Like I remember when I was younger, I would not move for like a whole, you know, 17 hours. The only time I'd get up was to get use the restroom or whatever. I mean, I think I did like a 2 day binge on World of Warcraft when I was like 14. It's ridiculous, man.
Um, so Death says, never seen Guru. My question is, any helpful advice for streamers or working out? I think there's a lot of helpful advice for streaming that he's given throughout the interview. So if there's anything you'd have like a tip for working out or anything like that.
Yeah, just consistency in all things. Um, so like streaming, if you're always on it, like always on it at the same time, like every week. Like, even if you're only streaming 3 times a week or like 4 times a week, I recommend if you can try to do that 7 day a week because that's what the big streamers do, and that's how you're really gonna find growth. If someone always knows when you're gonna be live, then they will show up. But if they like, I mean, I feel bad for skipping a day. Yeah, I shouldn't feel like that, but I do. Like the other day, I skipped a day, and it's kind of it eats away at me because I just have that drive to always be on time, always like have my viewers know what's going on. So very like consistency is very very important. But the same with the gym. Like you don't even have to go every single day. Obviously, it's better if you can. And you know you have different workouts for each day. Some days you take it light so you don't overtrain or whatever. But if you're going 3 4 days a week, you will see results. Even if you're doing it 2 days a week, like even if you're doing anything, you will see results. Um, yeah,
Yeah, I mean something better than nothing for sure.
yeah.
Um, let's see here real quick.
Wait, Tito asked a question. If I'm trying to find a team, how do
Yep.
I put myself out there? I've only done collegiate. Trying to put myself. What do you think? I would say like posting on Twitter, having it pinned, posting in Discords, like maybe trying to get a Liquipedia, posting your results on your LFT post. Specifically going out of your way to ask people, ask managers, ask other people that play on teams if they have spots open. Like I would say, like constantly be grinding, like going over your own VODs, even in comp. Like there's always something to learn. Um, you know me, I'm a game guy and I have a full ride to school, but I really hate school and I'm unsure if I'm sure about going. If I were to go, it would only be for my parents. What are your thoughts? I think that you should go. I think that going to a school for a full ride will it kind of speed runs you through life, and you will learn so much about how people work, and you're gonna be able to, dude, you get free food, free housing, like you could focus on your stream outside of school. Like it's a really really smart move. And right now, Overwatch, if you're not on like a successful team, it's kind of not smart to be playing on like playing in the competitive scene. What was the transition into things like contenders and playing professionally? Was that stressful at all? No, dude. It's exciting. Like for some people, they get anxious about it or whatever. They'll get anxious about competing and all that. And sure, that happened at the beginning where I was like, kind of get the gamer shakes, the gamer jitters at the beginning of a match. But like once you get into it and you start farming, you start playing well, like it feels like the most amazing experience that I've ever had. Like dude, there's nothing that compares to just winning a champion set or a championship set. What was your biggest takeaway from collegiate esports? So going to college, I think the most important, the best thing that I got out of it was like the connections and the people that I met. Like I met some of the best, like some of my best friends from collegiate esports, and I think that's really really important. If the only thing I got out of college was friendships with like Tony, Mac, Connor, and other people from so like Hypnot, Tony B, Mac, they're my old teammates. If those are the only things that I got out of it, those connections, then it was 100% worth it. It's very very valuable to have people like that in your life. What kind of workouts do you do? There's a lot of beginner stuff that you can do. What I do won't necessarily work for you. You just gotta have to you have to find out what works. If you're gonna go and fail, what's the point? I think it's totally okay to go and fail. That's like a whole new experience that you didn't have before. Plus, it's free. So if you're gonna fail, then go. Like, and if you're not gonna fail, I would say go for it. Uh, like, go with the intent to pass. But if you fail, honestly, not a huge deal. That's how I see it.
I would add to that, at some point in your life, you're going to fail. You're whether it's in the gym, you're not going to be able to push the weight you want to push that day. Like there's one day you might do 300 pounds on a bench press. The following week you might do 250. You know,
Dude,
it's but going in and giving it the try, it not only does it push you to work through the failures that you're going to have, and you learn to deal with them, but you learn not to let that fear of failure control you.
dude, failing is fucking awesome. I fail daily. Like every day I fail, and it's like it's an average day, and it's not failing. It's like it's a learning experience. Either way, it's a win. You either do the thing and you count that as a win, or you learn. Like that's all there is to it.
Oh. I understand where you're coming from, Vidiot, about the bad GPA, but I would say that I know plenty of people that have dropped out of high school, for instance, come back, got a GED, and then they went on to be an honors student in the collegiate atmosphere, and they graduated with 2 degrees, went on to get a PhD, et cetera. I mean, so
Yeah. I mean, I dropped out of high school and then I ended up on the dean's list in at Maryville, and I dropped out of that too.
yeah. So I mean, does a GPA matter? It does, but as somebody that worked for a college, what separates you at the end of the day, it isn't your GPA. Like what got me all the job offers after college was having worked for a college. Nobody
Hmm.
really cared about my 3.9 GPA.
Yeah, you
They
can't see the GPA on the degree.
Yeah, they all cared about. They were like, "Oh, you worked for a college, which means you met all these requirements, and you must have taken it seriously, and you had these recommendations." And that's what. So there's more to it than a GPA. I get where you're coming from, but yeah, it's don't let something like the GPA, be the hang up and the focal point of what you're trying to do. Um, but okay, well, we're about. I don't want to push it too long because I know that you have to go, so we're a little past that 45-minute mark.
Yeah.
Um, so I think what we will do is we'll start to wrap things up. If you want to type in, I'm going to do a little outro. If you want to type in the name of the person that you want to raid, um, then which we just got to raid. Thank you so much, Dunzo. I appreciate it, buddy. I really, really do. It's awesome. We get to add more people to the raid that we're doing. Um, but I want to thank Guru for coming on. I know how busy he is, and this is always an awesome experience to get a chance to talk with people, and it's awesome to get to do these interviews, as I've always said, because we get different perspectives that no one person has the same exact perspective. It's all unique. It's all conducive to that one person who. Okay, so, all right, I got you. I got you. All right, so we'll throw it back over to Bame. When you get there, Guru, I'm going to need you to do one thing. Type in exclamation point sneaky beer, and you can see what happened during our podcast from last time.
All right.
But it's definitely uh, a wonderful experience. So thank you, buddy. I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah,
So
I think what you're doing is pretty cool. It's just really difficult to get Overwatch streamers in particular to do something besides play Overwatch. So good luck. I hope it picks up.
oh hey, this is the 54th interview that I've done so far.
Jeez.
So the uh, outreach has been outstanding, and I'm going to keep doing it as much as I can. And yeah, absolutely love doing it. With that being said, one last note: we do have Pavel the Stale coming up on Sunday at 6 p.m. EST, so that'll be another wonderful guest to have on. So hopefully everybody can make it there. And as I said at the beginning of this, if to Guru, this VOD will be up for anybody that missed the beginning and wants to check it out. And then a week from now, I will post it on YouTube, exclamation point YouTube, if you all would like a link to that to follow that channel. And yeah, thank you so much, buddy. So we'll go ahead and start that raid.
Sounds good. Bye, guys.
So, all right, we will go ahead and let's see if it pops up. Oh my God, the waiting for the countdown for this thing. Um, yeah, and
Go, 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 go.
yeah, we're waiting now. We're waiting. Oh my God, what is this emote? Wait, hang on. That that,
That's a good emote.
that emote is hilarious. Oh, that's Faded's emote. Okay, Pog. All right, that was good. That was good,
All
Faded.
right, I'm gonna head out, brother.
All right,
Catch you
thank you
later.
so much. I appreciate it, buddy.
Of course, dude. See ya.
So, see ya. All right, so and then there was just one. Yeah, thank you again so much, everybody. Again, anybody that followed, um, anybody that was in chat, I greatly appreciate it. Like I said, definitely not trying to ignore anybody. I just always want to give the guests my undivided attention because, as I said before, they're kind enough to come on. I want to reciprocate that kindness by, you know, making sure that they know they're the focal point of the podcast and the interview. Okay, so looks like we're about ready to go. Everybody, please join us if you can for rating BAME. I did an interview with him last week, last Sunday, so the VOD of that is still up, and it was a hilariously awesome time. So, uh, yeah, have a good one, everybody.